it's working. Hello, everybody. My name's Ian. This is Starship Adventures. And I'm still on vacation, so this is a messed up little show we're going to do tonight. But I just wanted to keep my loyal followers and supporters of the channel out there up to speed on what's going on and when I'll be back. Uh, okay, so as you guys know, we started doing this Sights and Sounds of Earth, I don't know, 6 or 8 months ago, where we were on every night. And it's been a lot on me, but I plan to continue it. I love the show. I love doing it. I was going to do it 5 nights a week. It ended up being 6 nights a week, and then I ended up giving up Saturday nights because it was just too busy on Saturday nights. So it's basically 7 nights a week, and I do this show every night at 9 p.m. And so during this week, when I'm unable to do the show at all, because I have very limited resources up here, because I'm unable to do the show, I still want to come in at 9 o'clock and just do a quick news update, check in with everybody, say hi. I'm literally sitting in my bed on the second floor of my cabin in Blairsville, Georgia, a cabin that my family's owned over 30 years now. And we love this cabin. It is now mine. I own it. And I will be probably breath inside this structure if I have my way. But in the meantime, uh, I've got fiber optic coming down the street, and so probably within the next year, as I make a little bit better money on YouTube and things like that, I'm going to go ahead and pay for fiber optic to be run all the way up here to the building, and then that way, when I come up here, I can still have a full setup and I can still do emergency coverage and the sights and sounds of Earth and all that kind of stuff. So, hey, Jungle, hey, Carlotta, how you guys doing tonight out there? Yeah, so I'm literally ready for bed. This is like the last thing I do, and I go to bed. So it's nice tonight. It's going to be about 22 outside tonight, so that's warm compared to the last 3 nights. The snow forecast for Saturday continues to go up. The pot roast we put off till tomorrow. We ended up out quite a bit today and had a lot going on, so we're doing the pot roast tomorrow. I made what I call goulash last night. I don't even know what real goulash is. I had a friend down the street whose mom would make goulash, and the shit smelled so bad I never tried it. Oh, come in, I made goulash. And I asked her one time, what in the F is goulash? And she says, well, I take everything left over from the last 7 days and I put it all in a big pot and I warm it up and everybody eats it or they go hungry. I don't really care. And so it always has had a negative connotation with me, goulash. But when I make it, I actually took bacon and some spam and some pieces of steak I had left, along with 2 big potatoes that were already cooked that I was able to dice up and put in there with a little bit of Brummel and brown butter and a little bit of Everglades seasoning. And just stir it all up like a breakfast thing, crack a couple of eggs on it. And man, that was a good dinner tonight. And I also finished up the last of the chili too. So there you go. One thing I do want to shout out to Joe Biden. I know everybody just went, huh? Am I on the right show? A shout out to Joe Biden. I never used to eat leftovers. I used to waste so much food. I would bring all this good food home and I had no discipline. I would never go get it out of the fridge and warm it up. I would just go get new food, right? But Joe Biden and his horrible shit economy has actually trained me and helped me to hone the leftover bone, if you will, the skill of eating leftovers and eating things that you've already ate before just a couple days earlier. And I'm getting pretty good at it. I'm at about 80-85% right now, which I think is better than definitely better than the national average. I would say the national average of food reuse, your leftovers basically being actually warmed back up and eaten, is probably 40% across the country. And that's sad. And I actually am proud of it. You can ask Carlotta and some others that know me pretty well in here. I actually brag about it. I do. I'm like, yeah, dude, I have it now. I have it. I go in there and I make me a little of this and a little of that. Sometimes I'll have a little bit of spaghetti and a taco and a piece of hamburger. And you know what I call that shit? A little trip around the world for dinner. That's right. I like that. I like going back and revisiting. And if you just add new and exciting condiments, it's like a whole new meal. And so there you go. So I've become very conscious of throwing away good food. Um, Thanks to Joe Biden and his wonderful, horrible economy. And so thank you, Joe. Sleep alive up there in Delaware, you putz. Anyway, yeah, I hope everybody's well tonight. Hello, Yellow, Junior. I see everybody coming in. I was going to see if Heath was in. I want to see if he got his power back on yet. Heath had an ice storm over about an hour east of me, and we didn't get any ice here. It got down to 32, and it started going back up again. We never got any ice, but he got ice. He got like a half inch of ice. He's got tree damage and power out. He has a whole house generator. Thank goodness he's been able to maintain that. But and they're doing okay. They don't need anything, but I just was wanting to know if he got his power back up over there. It's always a challenge, and you guys can let us know out there how long your power was down with this last ice storm. 45 here in Katy, Texas. Yeah, we're getting another blast this weekend, as I'm sure most people anywhere this side of the Rockies is going to feel this one. It's going to come down. Another cold front. I think it may make it down as far as Tampa again. You guys may have another blast of cold weather this weekend. In Florida, it sucks because we, as much as I hate the summers, I hate when the winters get too cold in Florida because I do like to go outside when it's not too hot, but then when you throw in really cold temperature, it takes all the fun out of it. So hopefully they'll get some better weather coming up. This is an extreme part of the winter. You guys know we've 6 or 7 week cycle that goes on. It's one of the many cycles that I talk about here on the channel, but there's a cycle that goes on with winter and with the jet stream and the way it comes down. Oh wow, Carlotta, yeah, here we go again. Yeah, 43 going to be in the upper 20s this weekend in Central Florida. Another big one. We are forecast here for 7 now for a low coming up on Saturday morning. We're going to wake up Saturday morning to probably 1/4 inch on the ground. We're going to have a chance for 1.5 inches to 2 inches through the day. Some of the forecasts, depending on where you look, are calling for 2 to 3 inches. So the models are beginning to bump it up. The Euro brought up the snow a little bit. And so I think the GFS will come along. The GFS seems to be lagging about a day behind the Euro on this kind of stuff. So we're going to see, hopefully we'll get about 3 inches here. That would be beautiful to see 3 inches of snow on Saturday. So hopefully that's going to happen. I'm going to have cameras set up. Still been unable to get my AT&T wireless working up here. I don't know what's wrong with it. I would have Joseph dial in for me and figure it out, but I can't even have that. I can't even get that. I can't even get the phone to work in the cabin half the time. So I'm stuck like Chuck this week up here. All I have is this old LG phone because the new S10 I bought quit working, or S20. And so I'm stuck with this old phone, and I'm up here with crap. Yeah, they've been getting a lot of snow up here. It's global warming. Just ask Al Gore. He would tell you the warming's causing the cooling, and the cooling's getting worse because of the warming. Just ask Al Gore. He'll tell you. Anybody that can invent the internet is smart enough to know what the weather's going to do in 100 years, right, guys? All right. So anyway, so hopefully we can get this. I get this AT&T system working. I think if I could get that working. I bought a big directional antenna, but it's got a bastard plug. It says it has a mini SMA or whatever, an SMA plug on it. It comes in. It's got some funky coax plug I've never seen before in my life. It's halfway between a UHF mini and a UHF PL239, and I don't know what it is. It's weird. It's some bastard plug. Anyway, so I threw that back in the box and threw that back in the car because that's going to have to go home or something. I don't know. I'm going to have to get a new plug soldered on it. Yeah, good old Al Gore. Yep, yeah, Alabama's going to get some snow. There's a chance of snow through Tennessee as well, and also into the Western Carolinas and northern Georgia, which is where I'm at. When I say I'm at North Georgia, if I walk over the hill that my house is on, I'll be in North Carolina. I'm literally right on the state line. You know, um, yeah, this would be a border town if that was a country. But yeah, so we're close. Yeah, it's beautiful up here. The mountain I'm on is about 3,200 feet. I'm at about 2,600 feet on the mountain. And the mountain is north of me and it is west of me. To the east and to the south, I have open sky. And I have another mountain that's about the same height. It's about 3 miles away. So I'm kind of in a little bowl right here. The weather's strange. I get snow in the middle of the day when there's sun shining. I get some weird things happen in this area here, but weird things also happen with propagation in this area too. I set up my 10 meter. I set up a 10-meter wire today, and it SWRs out pretty good, but it don't hear shit. It's deaf. Um, no, I'm upstairs. I'm sitting in my bed. This is my bed. I'm getting ready to go to bed. Um, yeah, this is my bedroom. I brought my two colored lights up here so I could do the old half red, half blue branding thing. You know how you're supposed to do. Um, no, I'm not in a sauna. I'm not a big sauna fan. I love jacuzzis though. Jacuzzis, yes. Saunas, no. Um, no, this is the upstairs. This is an A-frame. My family's owned it for a little over 30 years. It's in Blairsville, Georgia. And up in the top up here, it's not all that big. The bedrooms are only they're about maybe 10, 12 foot wide at the bottom, but they're only like 7 foot wide at the top because it's an A-frame. The roof comes up like this the whole way up, and it's really cool. It's a little cavey because the only windows are in the front and the back, but but it does really good with the insulation, believe it or not. Because you look back here, it's open rafter. You're like, well, there's no insulation back there. How's that work? Well, on the outside, there's 3 inches of styrofoam before you get to the roof, and the roof is pliable. Is this T111 that's behind me that you see here? That's the wood that's behind me. On top of that, there's styrofoam, and then on top of that, there's plywood, and on top of that, there's shingles, and then on top of that, there's fairing strips with an air gap, and then on top of that, there's metal roof. So there's two roofs up there. We purposely left the old roof, just put it right over the top, and that airspace provides an R rating, and the old roof remaining provides an additional R rating. So we do pretty good up here. Is it perfect? No, on the other night when it was 4 degrees outside, I could literally feel it kind of coming off my back here, and we had to run all 5 heaters wide open all night long. But tonight it's not near as bad. It's going to get down, I think, to 21 or something tonight. No big deal. Um, I'm probably just run 3 heaters overnight. Um, okay, I got a radio question there, Chris. I bought a Bofeng AR5RM. Not familiar with the AR5. Is it the UV5RM? And can I listen to EAMS? Okay, I'm not sure. If you're talking about EMS, you would have to look it up in your town and see if they've gone to digital or if they've gone to 800 trunked. Most departments for EMS, fire, law enforcement have moved off of the UHF, VHF bands, and they've moved up to 800, 900, even up further than that. And they're normally using like Motorola P25 or some kind of trunk smart system. Military nuclear codes. Yeah, no, I have no idea on that. I do know that you can receive any frequency you want. Now you can decode what the military is doing on there. I don't know, And of course, any transmission on those frequencies could be a felony. So I'd be careful with that. But anyway, things though, there's a lot of stuff you can hear with them. Some of the neatest things you can do with the bow things is FRS, GMRS, MURS. Like when you go to the fair or you go to a concert or you go to any big event or anything that's going on, usually if you program your radio to pick up GMRS, FRS, MURS, which is MERS, those three right there specifically, and you can do that very easily using a program called Chirp. You can usually listen to the production people, the security people, and everybody using that frequency, using something within those band of frequencies. And then other things you can do with those radios, you can also program them for Marine Band and Marine 16. If you look up Marine 16, that's a great channel to listen to if you live near the water. You'll hear a lot of boat traffic and things like that on there. Some of the new Baofengs will pick up aircraft band in the AM, so you have to check that too. If yours will pick up AM band, then you can pick up your tower frequencies on 116 through 122 or whatever megahertz. Yeah, and you definitely want GMRS as well. GMRS is the most common of the three. FRS, very limited range. GMRS, however, you can get radio, like mobile radios and stuff. So I've heard of Ham OS. I've heard of it. I've never used it. Yeah, I'm an old dog, and those are new tricks. I do have a Linux machine. It's a supercomputer. It's a great machine. I use it for broadcasting. It's got the radio, I think, on it right now going out over YouTube. It just sits there. It just sits there and makes butter all day long, that Linux. I love it. But I'm not good with it yet. I have to call Joseph all the time. What do I do? What do I do? It's asking for a command prompt, and I look it up on Google, and I can't get a straight answer, and it just sucks. Yep. You can do a lot with the Raspberry Pi now, and want to film a movie. Yeah, there you go. Actually, with AI, I plan to begin making at some point in my life within the near future science fiction stuff. I've got some writing I've done, and I've got a lot of great ideas and a lot of things. And with AI, and now allowing me to be creative. Everybody says AI is stifling creativity. I could not disagree more. AI is releasing creativity, allowing creativity. It's absolutely amazing what you can do now with AI. And so I can't wait within just a year or two. I'll be able to feed in the Star Trek original series playbook, the Star Trek original series paperback book that I wanted to make the movie after, and then pop in photographs of all the people that are in it and tell it to go. And it will make everything. And it will make the whole show start to finish. Then you can go through and you can change it and move it around a little bit. That's all within 2 years of right now. It's coming. And so I plan on making my own TV, my own movies. And it's not all going to be Star Trek, but I plan, it's going to be neat in the future. Everything's going to become more and more niche. And that's why what's going on right now, this show is niche. The broadcasting we do here is niche. It's a tight group of people that really like science, but yet mostly are kind of conservative, I guess, because I lean that way politically, and but yet people that have an open mind, and people that believe in the paranormal a little bit, and have an open mind to UFOs, and people that watch the world happen on a multi-screen format. If you think about it, this is pretty niche. And it's taken 5 years to get 27,000 people. But we're getting there. Yes, here's the thing, okay? I can hear music, and I can make music, and I can make music with AI. I never could make music before. So therefore, AI has now allowing me to become a music maker. Sometimes I let the AI just make the music, and that's fine. And it's made some good music, and you guys have listened to it and liked it. And okay, yeah. And then I all I did was just smooth the lyrics a little bit, tell it what key and what beat, and tell it to go. Other times, I go in and I micromanage the shit out of it. I know what I want it to sound like. I know everything right down to the thing. And sometimes I'll even and believe it or not, you can do this. I'll even sing it into it and record my voice and then tell it this is kind of how I want the flexion to sound, but I want this person singing to sound like they can actually sing. Um, yes, of course I'm wearing pants. I'm legal, of course. Of course. Well, or should I say, you can guess, and for the right amount of money, you can find out. Anyway, the point is, um, yeah, I absolutely believe that AI is releasing creativity. Trey Radel, my host of my conservative talk show that I produce, um, had a garage band, and he admits right up front, we sucked. We sucked so bad that no one would listen to us. But he said we had fun, and that's all that counts. And I agree. When it comes to garage bands and shit, you're making music, you're having fun. It doesn't matter if it's good. The point is he made songs that were actually good, pretty good, but none of them could play them or sing them worth a shit. Here it is, 25 years later, and he's taking the cassette tape that he did as his garage band and popping that in to Suno, and it makes the song. Same tone, same notes, same everything, but with a great singer and a great backup band and great strings and horns and just it's just awesome. Um, so yeah, yeah. I've already discussed this 2 or 3 times this week, so I'm not going to go through it again. But I don't like clothes. I don't wear clothes, so I don't show you guys anything you're not supposed to see. So just chill. I am very clothing intolerant, and I have been for years now. And I just don't like clothes. I used to wear a uniform for a living, very tight fitting uniform with ties and belts and guns and radios and all these clothing all over the years. And I've actually reached a point where I'm very intolerant to it. So let's just leave it there. Anyway, the point is, I did check the news today, and I wanted to go through a few things with you guys. Um, we're going to get back to covering what's going on out there every night. When I get back, I will be back on Sunday. I plan to do a show Sunday night unless we get held up getting out of town up here. There is a possibility we could get held up getting out of town, and if that happens, then there may not be a Sunday night show, but I'm going to do my best. There should be a Sunday night show, and then schedule will go on as normal from there. We'll be on every night at 9 p.m. But yeah, I did check through a few things out there, and there's really not. The thing is with these protests, I'm watching them, and there is a slow trickling ramping effect. It's ramping. It's ramping. It's ramping. And I don't know. I don't know where we're going to go. I'm not a great prognosticator of things to come when it comes to stuff like this, and so I don't know. I don't know where we're going to go with all this, or what we're trying to prove, or what we're trying to do. Um, hey, Charlotte, and dehydrated water. Welcome in. And yellow. I think I said hi earlier. And who else is in? Dom, thanks for coming in, man. Um, Yep, it disrupted a council meeting last night. Yeah. Um, yeah. Yeah, this is a proof of life video. I'm still alive. They told me as long as you put the money by the oak tree in town, I'll be released unharmed. There you go. All right. So anyway, um, what else do we got going on here? I'm just glad it's working, guys. I mean, I've literally found this exact perfect spot where it works, and I've got a tripod That's why when I move, it's like the whole ship starts moving, and then the light starts moving, and it gets all crazy in here. I don't know. But anyway, it's fun. It is nice to take a little bit of a break, but I can't wait to get back. Um, yeah. So um, I think there's going to be more of this unrest because there's going to be more incidents. It is these people are wanting the incidents. I almost think these people want to be martyrs. Some of them, they're very unhappy people, and they're going against law and order. You have to look at it that way. Okay, these are anti-law and order protests because the Democrats and the Republicans have agreed over the years that this is how we're going to handle um, um, this is how we're going to handle our immigration problem. Okay. Barack Obama handled it this way. Bill Clinton handled it this way. The Bushes handled it this way. And so this is the way it gets handled. But now all of a sudden, Barack Obama, he deported 5 million, 6 million. I forget the exact number. It's multiple millions. Trump hasn't even gotten to these numbers yet. And yet Trump's literally Hitler, literally a Nazi. They forget that Barack Obama did the same thing. He believed in secure borders. Much as you say about Bill Clinton, he believed in secure borders. Most leaders, whether they're Democrat or Republican, see that we need to be a sovereign country. You need to have, uh, you know, borders that are not porous and open to just people walking in. And so I think what we're running into right now is a situation where enough pushback has happened and everything else that we've polarized this country down to the fact that there's the people that wanted want to follow law and order, and there's the people that do not want to follow law and order. So it's the anti law and order rally. It's basically the anarchist rally, is what it is. It's pro anarchy because the Democrats and Republicans have agreed that this is what we're doing. And another question: if the Democrats are against ICE, why have the Democrats always voted for and signed off on all these laws? I mean, you can go back in time. The Democrats have been staunchly for borders. They're staunchly for this. So why is it now that they're suddenly against it? Well, I've told you guys over and over again. I'm not going to bore you with all the details, but it's because of the census is coming up. The census is coming up in 4 years. 4 years. And when that census happens under J.D. Vance, um, I'm hoping that we don't count illegals. If we don't count illegals, California is going down in flames, along with a bunch of other places. They're going to lose all their power in Washington. Um, Even if we count illegals, they're gonna be losing seats because of all the people that have moved out. And now California just put this rich tax on. They're trying to put this rich tax on. It's a one-time 5 or 6% hit on everything you own if you own things worth more than $1 million. Well, that's not a whole lot of money in California. I mean, $1 million home. What if you own a $500,000 home and 6 cars, 6 really expensive cars? Oh, all of a sudden you got to pay 5% of everything you own to the government one time, to Gavin Newsom. And the thing is if they did this and everybody followed it and everybody paid, you want to know how much it would pay down their debt? About 25%. Um, I don't know. It's not just the protesters. The MPD chief has openly stated MPD does not care about immigration status. Reconcile that with following the law by the chief. Well, their law enforcement out there is complicit in this. They're required to cooperate with federal law enforcement. It's basically the way it works. I mean, they over the years, it's just the way it's done, and it's a supremacy clause. It's the way it works, and for them to actively go against what the federal government's trying to do, lawfully do, is a real problem for the state up there, and that's why Tim Walz is backpedaling really hard right now. He really is. Um, Yes, you are correct, Dom, and that's one of many, many good examples out there of Democrats that have been very pro high fences at the border. It's only because Bad Orange Man wants to do this. Once Bad Orange Man comes out and says, "Hey, I want to close the border down," I would all of a sudden now that's a problem. Um, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I think we're going to see some pretty big stuff happening in Minnesota when it comes to all this fraud. And I also think that there may be some things that happen also because of the obstruction, all the way up to Tim Walz's office. There's been obstruction of justice, federal justice, and there's already hearings going on, and it's getting really nasty up there. Um, another No Kings event. Well, what about their King Maduro? Are they going to be supporting Maduro in this No Kings event? Idiots. It's just amazing to me, isn't it? Yeah. So anyway, that's what's going on there. I just not much too much else I need to go on to that. All right, let's see what else is going on out there. Um, yeah, and that's another thing. I don't even have a tablet to like have the news in front of me or anything. I'm literally doing it just I'm just talking. I'm literally just wanting to keep you guys interested long enough that I can get home and get back on the damn thing. I know this sucks. The numbers are completely dismal. It's just my 20 or 30 good friends in here, pretty much. But I do appreciate that. We're going to be promoting some more mods here before long. Yeah, make Greenland great again. Um, yeah. So anyway, let me think what else is going on here. There was a few things I was going to discuss. Oh, what was it? I got the engraver. I've been working on it. It's a little complicated, and I've just been busy doing other things. But I should probably tomorrow have that going. Hopefully, the next day or two. Um, yes, I agree, Jungle. I agree, and we're having some great time. We went and had lunch with my mom's sister, my aunt Penny, who lives over in Choastowie, which is just south of Blairsville. We're up in Gumlog, which is north of Blairsville, in like Young Harris. She's down in Choastowie. And she came up to Blairsville, and we went down and we had lunch at this really cool restaurant. Um, yeah, but I don't have memberships yet, so everybody can come in. I'm eventually going to do memberships, but I won't do them until I have something to offer. And it's not, yeah. Uh, I'm not running an OnlyFans site, so I'm looking. Hey North, hey North, welcome in. Yeah, well, it is what it is. All right, so the thing is, when it comes to, yeah, well, there you go. All right, so anyway, where I'm basically doing here is, all right, well, have a good one, Dom. Have a good night out there. We'll see you later. Um, we'll get back to normal. This is the stopgap right here. I'm going to work on my internet again tomorrow and see if I can get it going. I feel like I'm dead up here without it. I have been working. I set up a wire on 10. It doesn't work worth the shit. I've got it, and I don't have a ham stick for 10. I ended up with two sixes and no 10. And so I'm dead on 10. I'm dead on 15. And I've been using 20. I've got a wire run out in my car parked halfway down the driveway with my, one of Heath's ham sticks stuck on my big magnet base on the trunk. And that's working pretty good right now. I'm thinking about getting out that Tar Heel tomorrow and seeing if I can tune it up on a different frequency or something. So anyway, I've been thinking of some different things I can screw around with. It's just so cold here. Oh my God, you go outside, it just instantly hurts. Um, Yeah. Let's see what else is going on here. We're Friday. We got dropping temperatures Friday night, and then the snow is going to move in Friday night. And once snow moves in, it'll stay snowing through the day on Saturday, which is going to hopefully be really cool. I'm looking forward to that. I think that's going to be a lot of fun. I don't get to see a lot of snow, so um, yeah, and that whole thing. I don't want to get back into that again. All right. The other thing was there was some auroras the last couple days, but nothing really too big. I looked into that. Um, well, if the wire runs up through the leaves and it's tying the tree over and over and over again, it reduces your power dramatically. It also distorts what you're getting in. I think it dampens down the amount of energy you're receiving as well. Um, yeah, it's Arctic here too. But I've got I put wire on this balun. I bought a 1-to-1 balun, and I put the proper amount on it to make it 10 meters. It SWRs pretty good, like 1 to 1.6 at FT8, and then it does better as you work your way up the dial. But here's the problem. I did this. I get it up. It don't hear, don't talk worth the shit. Don't hear worth the shit. I made like 3 contacts on FT8, and I don't hear any of the POTA at all. I don't hear anybody on it at all. I hear no voice at all, and I can barely see the FT8. I switch over to 20 with the antenna on the car, and it does great. I can see it. It's like wow. Um, I got a 40 wire hanging in the tree out here that Joseph and I put up. He used the drone to fly it up over a tree branch. And we were able to put up a 40-meter wire here. It goes way down, inverted V, and that's still working. I'm able to tune that up. It's about 1.5 to 1, and using the tuner in the radio, I can use it perfectly. So that's pretty cool. I've made some 40 contacts. So I've made 10 contacts, 20, and 40. So I've done a few things on that, and some FT8. I am able to use, I don't know if I told you guys, but I think I did. I'm able to use my FT710 um, on the USB plug in the back. Doesn't work right. It just doesn't work right. And I just don't feel like boxing it up and sending it back. And so you can't use rig control. If you either have rig control, okay, like if I'm doing a contest, I can do the rig control, or you have sound, but you can't have both. You either have rig control or sound, but you can't have both. And so what I do is when I do FT8, I just set it on Vox and I use the Vox circuit and it works fine. And then all I have to do, I just have to manually tune the channel each time I change bands, which is not a big deal. I just turn the small knob and it brings me right to that same frequency on the other band, basically. And it works good. So, um, but uh, but at least it works. I can plug it in. At least it's a sound card. And then if I'm going to use it for contesting, I'll have the rig control set up so that it can log the frequencies and everything properly. So it depends on what I'm using it for, how I set it up. Maybe one day I'll figure out how to get it all working at one time. Um, but yeah, what running wires in trees does work. In fact, one of the things I say everybody should have in their survival kit is about 40 feet of thin coax, okay, something thin that has an SMA that screws onto the top of your portable radio. And then on the other end of that SMA, you want a throw antenna, okay? And it's basically, you throw a rock up over a branch and you hoist up a wire antenna. And it's basically just a dipole hanging from a tree. And it's cut for the VHF frequency or whatever you're going to use it for. I suggest one of those with your bow thing, which I don't even have mine in here today. Take your bow thing and That way, when you if there's an end of the world situation and you grab your go kit and you go running out the door, you've got a portable with a rubber ducky on it, and that thing's worthless. But you can climb 40 feet up a tower and you can hang this, or 40 feet up a tree. You can throw a rock, get this thing 40 feet up in the air, and stand under the tree with your portable. And now suddenly you've got a radio, a 10-watt Baofeng radio that has the ability to go 20 or 30 miles to the right receiver, So uh, that's what you want to have in your bag. And it takes up about this much space. I mean, a very little amount of space in your bag. And you just wrap it really tight. You can even vacuum seal it into a little bag. And then you just straighten it all out and grab a rock and throw it around a piece of your rope that you have with you, some really thin rope. What do they call that stuff? Whatever. And throw that up over something, and then you can hoist this antenna up, and that antenna will give you so much more coverage than you're going to get out of any kind of antenna. Those big tall antennas that go on the portable, there's a few that are pretty good. The thinner ones are pretty good, but they're just not great. I don't think any of them are really that much better than the actual antenna that comes paired with the radio. With the antenna that came with the radio is the one that's designed to be used with that radio. That antenna usually does pretty good. Yeah, I have a hex at home. It's sitting on its side in the side yard. I hope to get it back up one day. It needs a little bit of work, but I know we could do it. But yeah, I've got my 5-element 6-meter beam up right now. I put it up for Magic Band season and never took it down. Yeah, you definitely want it's called a throw antenna, and you just pick up a rock when you get to wherever you're going, and everything else should be in there. There should be about 40 feet of that really thin filament rope, and about 30-40 feet of that real thin coax with the SMA on the end. And they sell these. You can buy them. Put in VHF throw antenna. There's several companies out there that actually make these products, and you can buy them right from these companies. And so, that works really good if you can find them out there. But you can also buy throw antennas for different bands too, if you want 10 or 6 or whatever. There you go. Yep, Deploribus, it's amazing what you can do with just a piece of wire, just a hunk of wire, if it's put up right and it's not touching anything, and you got a clear, you got a good takeoff angle, and then you got sky. It's amazing what you can do with just a piece of wire. So that's why, and if you want to be one of these jackasses that's really prepared, which I like to be myself, buy you a UHF and buy you a VHF one. Because a UHF is a different animal. They actually sell like multi-collinears and stuff that you can buy to throw in a tree. And if you guys are going to have friends on GMRS, or you're going to try to contact them on that, that's UHF. And the VHF throw antenna is not going to do as well on UHF. Doesn't have a great pattern. It is true that the two bands are somewhat resonant, but it's never perfect. And so you might want to opt to have a UHF version and a VHF version. Yeah, isn't that amazing, Deploribus? Yeah, well, what's cool with 10 meters is you were getting skywave. Obviously, you were in the ionosphere. That's what's great about skywave is you don't necessarily need to have the highest antenna in town to have the best game going, because it's all about takeoff angle. Yeah, so anyway, there you go. So for your survival kit, they call that, what do they call that stuff? Can you guys remember what it's called? It's like a real thin rope that's hardy against the sun, like nylon. There's a certain name for it. And you want to have like 30, 40 feet of that in your bag so that you can put up things like an antenna. Um, yeah. Height is might, especially with VHF and UHF and higher frequencies. But with HF, you can get around a height problem as long as you've got a good takeoff angle and you got a great antenna. Um, that's my problem. I build these dipoles and they just don't work worth the shit sometimes. I even bought the Balun for this one, and it just doesn't. It's, of course, then again, 10 is very susceptible to atmospherics, and the truth is, I didn't even really check the atmospherics when I was using maybe a low K index or maybe a geomagnetic storm or something. It was causing it to not work so well, but I don't know. Anyway, what else is going on? Am I blurry or is my eyes blurry? Um, I seem like I'm blurry on there. It is blurry. I don't know what the hell the deal is. I guess guys, we're just lucky the damn thing's working. Absolutely lucky it's working. All right. Yeah, but I was seeing it blurry, which means it was something on my end. Because if you guys are seeing it blurry because of bandwidth, I won't be able to see that. I gotta fix that light. It's driving me nuts. It just keeps moving around up there. All right. So what else do we got? What else you guys want to mention tonight? Yeah. Um, there's so many different antennas you can get for your little. Got the little stubby ones that are this big, but they don't really work that well. They're only good on UHF. They got those big long whip ones. They got those tacticals that fold all out to 48 inches. Believe it or not, I have one of those. And the performance is marginally better, if at all better, than the antenna that came with the radio. Where where you really add the gain is when you go to, like I said, a throw antenna where you're actually getting that antenna up in the air, or you're putting a ground plane antenna up on your roof of your house or whatever. That's a game changer. Even if you're just using a Baofeng or a TYT or Radioddity, if you buy a 10 watt, that's giving you at least 8 watts on whatever frequency you're wanting to use it on. And if you put that through a good antenna up at 15 feet above your house with a good ground plane, you can really do some damage with just a portable radio. Paracord, that's what I'm thinking. Thank you, Paracord. You can buy it at the ham festivals. A lot of people sell it there, different kinds. And I like the paracord because it's of a higher quality. You will pay more for it, but it's of a higher quality. But you want to put 30, 40 feet of that in your go bag. It's not a rescue rope. It's not designed for your weight or anything, but it's there as a piece of utility. If you got to tie something off, or you need to throw an antenna, or you need to hoist something in or whatever, that's what it can be used for. But that should be part of your go bag. Everybody always says, "Oh, I got a compass. I got dry matches sealed in a bag. And there's a lot of neat things you should have in that bag like that. There really is. But your radio and a couple of batteries and a small solar panel that's designed to charge your USB radio batteries is so important. Because when you grab that bag a year from now, those batteries you may not have remembered, hey, I got to pull those batteries out, rotate them, and maybe run them dead a little bit, use them, and keep them conditioned. Now, these latest batteries that we have now, they're not as bad on negative conditioning, and they're good in a bag for a year or two. But you do want to pull them out and charge them every so often. Um, yeah, there you go. There, I saw that where they've got the fishing reel hooks onto their wristband and pull it back, and when they shoot the rock out of it, the fishing reel goes, and I'm like, that's pretty damn cool right there. But I mean, a wrist rocket doesn't take up. They make those that collapse down into almost nothing. So you could put the wrist rocket down in there. And then that way, when you get to where you're going, you could even have 2 or 3 little lead weights down in there if you wanted to get fancy. Put your paracord into your lead weight and, see, or maybe some fishing string. Maybe have 50 feet of fishing string down in there with little wire ties so it's all nice and neat. A survival kit. We should do this one night. We should literally go through everything you should have in your survival. Every one of us should have a go bag. There should be a go bag in your room, in the closet. You know where it is. And if it's bad, if something's going on and you don't know what it is and it's bad and you're bugging, and when you decide it's time to bug out, that bag needs to go with you, along with any canned goods that you have and stuff like that. Um, don't ever discount water and food. You know what? Truthfully, everybody's always talking about gold and silver and all that bullshit. And within 7 days, food's going to be the commodity. Eventually, fresh water will be the commodity. It's amazing how quick a society like ours will go to shit in a handbasket. And gold and silver ain't gonna be worth an F in about 4 days. I'm telling you. I'm just mark my words. Don't bring your gold. Leave the gold. Leave the silver. It's gonna be worthless. Bring your green beans and your spam. That shit's gonna be worth some money. And fuel. The other thing: fuel, water, food. Those are the 3 things that'll be worth the most in the aftermath of something major. Whether it's localized, whether it's a country situation, whether it's civil unrest, whether it's a war, whether it's a nuclear attack, whether it's a solar flare from the sun, whatever it is, they all have the same preparation, the same skills, same things you need to know to survive after that. And part of that is having a go bag that has everything that you need in it. And another piece of advice: just because you have a radio that transmits, I transmit on it. If it's the end of the world, there's only going to be 2 kinds of people out there: you and the people looking for you, because you got food. So just be careful. Radios are more for listening than talking in an end of the world situation. We're not looking to contact with civil authorities, and we're not looking to make contact with neighbors, and we're not looking at making contact with anybody on the radio that we don't already know. If we don't have it established ahead of time and we don't know the people we're contacting, we're not even getting on the radio. But I do a lot of listening. So, things like that. You want to have bleach. You want to have a nice little container of bleach so that you can make drinking water. You can use a t-shirt and bleach, and you can make drinking water out of almost anything. With a little bit more work, you could even distill it by just finding stuff that you can find around. But clean water is going to become such an amazing thing real quick if anything ever happens like that. So it's always underestimated. We never think about stuff like that. We always think about, hey man, I'm going to have some gold put back just for, I got a little cash. None of that's going to be worth anything. There's so many of us and so little food. The moment transportation breaks down, people start to starve to death. You think, I don't know if you guys realize this. In 1900, 75% of a grocery store was stock room. In 1950, it was about 50% stock room. And they would keep stock available there that people could buy. And when they would run out of green beans, they would go back to the stock room and they would get more green beans. Over the years, the wall between the stock room and the sales floor has moved back and moved back and moved back. And now the new grocery stores they're building, the new Walmarts they're building, are 92% sales floor. And the reason is because things come in from the truck and they go right to the shelf. Because of the way everything's distributed now, your liquor comes in on its own trucks. From its own distributors, you have a bread distributor, you have all these different distributors that bring the stuff in directly. So none of that goes into a storage room. It all comes directly to your shelf, basically. And the same thing with Walmart. All their stuff comes in and they'll get a Walmart truck that has everything to stock their store. Now, it's not a load of green beans. No, There's just one case of green beans to restock the green bean aisle, and they'll have everything they need on that truck to restock all the aisles tonight, overnight. And so what I'm trying to say is what's on the shelf is what they got. There is no storage rooms full of food anywhere. You know, even your food banks, a lot of times, will run zero. They'll run down to where they're getting today's food for tomorrow. There is no large amount of stored food anywhere. You know, so food will become so scarce so quick, and people are so gluttonous that nobody knows how to ration food. People don't realize you only need about maybe 7 to 10% of what you eat right now, especially if it's high in protein. And you can survive so long on just a very small amount of food if it's kept properly. And of course, you're going to have to be willing to kill for it. That's the other problem. That's why the older I get, eventually one day I'm just going to give up to the fact that I'm a feeder now, because I'm glad I used to think this scenario would happen sometime during my lifetime, that this dystopian happening would happen sometime during my life, and that I would have to be a survivalist or I would have to be dead, one or the other. And this is going to suck, and I'm going to have to deal with it and all that. And you know what? I'm 56 years old now, and it's never happened. And I don't feel that we're any closer to the end of the world today than we were in 1977 Cuban Missile Crisis. So I don't know. I don't feel it anymore. I don't feel it anymore. I still have a go bag. I'm still prepared. I still got a little bit of fuel store here. I still got a little bit of this, a little bit of that. I still got a couple flats of canned goods. But the truth is A, I'm too old to be a survivor anymore. I'm a feeder now. I've admitted it. But number two, I actually think in the 20 or so years I have left, I think I'm going to be okay. I don't think we're going to have the end of the world thing. I no longer think that I will see a dystopian future. I no longer think that I will be one of these people that survive by shooting my neighbors. And I thank God, because I never wanted that. It used to scare me at night. I used to not want that. I'm like, it's no life. You know, do you really want to survive? It's really not a good life, especially if you're dealing with things like radiation poisoning or other things besides just famine and just your hungry neighbors coming looking for your food. Man, I don't know. I'm kind of glad now that I feel the way I do. I actually feel now, for the first time, like in the last 5 years, I've come to this realization that I don't think we're going to see the end of the world in my lifetime. I don't. I think I'm going to live out my life and do my YouTube thing till I can't do it no more. And then just probably die in this room on this bed. And I've kind of got that figured out now. And I take solace in the fact that all those years, I used to think that I was going to see the end of it, and it was going to be really bad, and I was going to fight. It was going to be a fight to the death, and I would eventually be shot and killed for my food. No, I don't believe that anymore. I have a good feeling about the future in a way. I don't know. And it's not because Trump or Biden, it's bigger than all that. I just don't think that we're going to face a dystopian future like that, at least not in the next 20 years. Now, out 40 years or 50 or 60 years with AI, I think it will come around again. But at least in the short term, for the rest of my life anyway, I'm actually feeling pretty good about it. I am. And so I do still have my stuff ready just in case, but I don't worry about it like I used to, because I don't run fast enough to get away from the zombies anyway. So they're going to get me. So I'm just going to live with it. All right, let's see. What do we got up here? Let's see. Local grocery store, yeah, within 3 days at the most. Actually, it'll be looted within 24 hours. Yes, I have iodine pills in my big case, in my big metal survival kit. I've got gas masks, filters, iodine pills. I was really into this survival stuff at one time. I really was. I was not going to be a feeder, but 25 years goes by and you lose half your muscle mass and you start to think, I don't really care to live that life if it happens. I don't want to anymore. I just want to die and be done with it. Oh, what else we got going on here? Uh, and I don't mean to scare you guys. I actually think it's good news. But I also know that when people start talking about all the different things that they're worried about and what they're wanting to make sure they get on their list and having this and that and everything, I never hear the three things that are most important: fresh water, food that won't spoil, that you can carry, and fuel, gasoline, diesel. That's it. And the third one, diesel or gasoline, will fall off fairly quickly as well because it'll get to the point where you can't run a generator because the moment you start up a generator, everybody for half a mile will hear it running, and they're going to come looking for your gas. And because gasoline, whoever's got gasoline's probably got food too. Um, you can't burn fires because the moment you burn fire, the smoke goes up. People see where you're at. They're going to come looking for your food. The end of the world thing is not as fun as it is in Hollywood. It's not as glamorous. Even as glamorous it is in the Walking Dead. Let me tell you something. I watched The Walking Dead right up till that night that prick killed two of the main characters for no reason, that gratuitous killing, and I quit watching it along with 16 million other people. But let me tell you something. The Walking Dead, when you think about it, do you want that life? I Yeah, that's I don't know. You know what it must smell like? I want you to think about that. Dead zombies everywhere, rotten refrigerators everywhere, dead people everywhere. What do you think that smells like? Oh, forget about it. Forget about it. No, thank you. All right, guys. What else we got to talk about here? I've been on over an hour. I'm getting ready to sign off in just a few minutes. I just wanted to come in and make sure people knew I was still alive up here and make sure that everything is good to go and let you guys know that I will be back on Sunday for a regular studio show. I'm also going to try to, I've been shooting some video up here, and I probably will have a few little features that come out as well next week. We'll see how that goes. And the engraver project's moving along. I've done a few test engravings and it's working. I just got to figure out. I think it's a height issue. I've got to work on getting the height. I got a little height thing I got to figure out how to use. Anyway, whatever. I'll get it figured out. It's fun. Um, if you guys have anything else, put it in the chat room. I will be back on tomorrow night, um, just to say hi to everybody before I go to bed and see what's going on out there. All right. And yeah, I got to tell you guys, it's been fun. It's been fun up here, and it's been good time spent with mom. And we're going to get to see some snow this weekend. So for Florida people, that's pretty fun. And we'll see how it goes. And then hopefully I'll be able to get the car off the mountain on Sunday and head back. And I'll keep you guys updated on that. Anything else? I'm checking the chat one last time. I hope my chat's working because it just says, let me change it to live chat. Oh, see, you guys have been talking and none of that's been coming in. Keep an eye on the weather. I will, Gator. Yeah, the whole nuke thing. Oh, man. Yeah. 2030 could be a big turning point. There's going to be a lot happening in that year. Yeah, if you want to survive, and if it's a zombie situation or an end of the world thing, any hope you're going to have is to get away from people, and the only way to do that's on a boat. And I think that was always something I came back to viably, was if I can get to a boat, um, you can fish, you can live off the ocean. Um, as long as you can distill water, you can almost just drift and just live out in the ocean, at least for a time. And yeah. Victor, I haven't gone out and looked at the moon tonight. No, it's cold as shit out there, and I've already got all the stuff under the front door. But I may end up out there. I doubt it though. I'm heading to bed. Let's see. Anything else, guys? Last call here, and I'm gonna head to bed. Wow. Yep. Yeah, that Omar. I think you're talking about that. She had something thrown on her in some meeting. It was funny. Whatever. Uh, hey, hey, haven't seen you in a while. Welcome back. Um, the names are coming up different again. I don't know why it does that sometimes. Yep. We're gonna be tomorrow. We're gonna just go have lunch up in Murphy, I think, and we're gonna go up to North Carolina and drive around up in Murphy. Maybe come back through Hayesville and come back through Young Harris, and just take a drive around, take a look around, see if they got any ice up there. I don't think they did. Um, we had talked about we may. I don't know if we're going to go that far tomorrow, but we like to go to Mercier's. Mercier's is an apple orchard in Blue Ridge, Georgia, and they've got a wonderful, huge gift shop, and they sell all fresh fruits that they grow right there, apples and all kinds of. They got like 12 different apples there, and they got different ciders and all kinds of neat stuff you can buy, and a gift shop with all kinds of neat stuff. And we do like to go see that. They even got a winery there and the whole bit. Um, but it's about 30-minute drive over and 30 back. So I don't know if we're going to go quite that far tomorrow. I think we're just going to go up to Murphy, but we'll figure it out. And I'll come back on tomorrow night before I go to bed and say good night to everybody. And just hang in there, guys. We're back to normal next week. Oh, really? Oh, deploribus. That's funny. Um, Yeah, I know. They keep calling for resistance, and then Tampon Tim walks it back a little bit, and then he calls for more resistance. It's like, what's going on, man? I don't get it. If you love apples, you would love Mercier's because they make fresh apple pies there, and like literally, they make these like turnover pies, where they pinch the edges, pocket pies, whatever. I've heard them called different things. They make those with all fresh fruit, and they make them the day, and you get the thing. It's hot, and man, it's good. Um, yeah, he's behind the gate of his mansion, telling people to go out and risk their shit. Yeah, tell you what, it worried me. I was watching him the other night trying to rip the boards off of that federal building. This is going to get nasty, and all it's going to take is them to get into that building, and then they start shooting them in that. Because look, if you break into a federal facility, they can shoot you. Just putting that out there. And it's going to get really nasty if all that starts. Um, yeah, I don't know, jungle. I don't know what's going to happen. Um, yeah, it's going to be crazy, but we'll keep an eye on it, and we'll be back to covering it on Sunday. So I'll see you guys tomorrow night, everybody. I'm going to go ahead and go. It's been fun, and it's my pleasure to be your host. And like I said, we'll be back to full strength on Sunday here, and back to full coverage mode for the foreseeable future after that. Just bear with me this week as I'm out of town and I'm on very limited internet up here in the mountains. Live from Blairsville, Georgia. My name's Ian from my family's cabin upstairs on my bed, the only place the internet works inside the house. With a special vacation edition of the Sights and Sounds of Earth. and we featured no sights and no sounds, but that's okay. We'll get back to it on Sunday. All right, guys, have a good night out there. We'll see you next time. 7 threes, 7 threes, a safe night, a safe tomorrow. Good night, everybody.